Hi, this is the Tempter podcast where we explore ways to consistently innovate using open source technology and workflows. Your hosts today are Khem, Raj, and Cliff Bray. How's it going, Khem?
Going good. How about yourself?
Yeah, pretty well. So today we want to talk about product versus technology, and Khem has written a few blog posts about this, so we want to try to understand how to better differentiate this. So maybe to start things off, how do we differentiate between product and technology? How's that work in your mind, Khem?
Yeah, that's interesting. So essentially, I think we intermix them very often, and so products are built, using technologies or platforms, and so essentially, products are a superset. They're more than what a technology is or a platform would be. Um, the reason is they are focused on solving a problem. That's what a product is. And technology and platforms are to enable them.
Sure. So maybe to drill in a little more, you can't really sell a technology directly. Like I can't take the NATS message bus and go do something directly with it or the Linux kernel. You have to put it into something a little bit bigger than that.
Hmm. Yeah, and there are other aspects of products. There is trainings. There are supply chains, and then you have certain assurances you give. There's an ecosystem around it, performance. So there are many key vectors that come into picture.
Sure. You might have commercial support and, basically what it needs to make a technology useful. So what
Mhm.
are some other examples of products versus technology?
So I think if you consider, you can basically look at several projects out there, and you'll see that there are a lot of products out there which are um, considering projects like you mentioned Linux kernel, or you can mention about like Yocto project, or you could mention Zephyr. These are essentially either platforms or technologies that you can use to build. For example, consider TrueNAS. That's a product, but then underneath it uses ZFS, OpenZFS file system technology. So ZFS is a file system technology.
Mm-hmm.
And NATS, for example, is a message bus which is used in many places, and it's used by Simple IoT. And once you deploy Simple IoT in some products, right, then NATS is a technology that is enabling the Simple IoT product.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and the Yo distribution that we maintain, that's by itself it isn't real useful, but if you build a product around it, we've shipped a number of products based on Yo, so that's another example of a technology.
Yeah, that's right. And so we have tried to provide templates that feed into products. They are not necessarily products, but the key aspect of that is that how can you streamline the technology offering so that they can fit into the products quickly, and help launch the products quicker.
Sure. So one thing we think about with technology, a lot of companies open source technology. So you look at Google and they've open sourced the Go programming language. A lot of companies work on Linux, the kernel. Facebook has open source React, for front end development. So why is, what and products seem to be much harder to open source. We see the drama in the WordPress world right now, and it may be because they've open sourced their product. So why do you think technology is a good thing to open source where products are much harder?
So yeah, I think the technology have different appeals. It has to be um, affordable, right? So they are kind of like building blocks. But if you consider products, they have specific needs, and the specific needs might require you to fulfill that in certain ways that you will basically either time wise you will have to spend a lot of effort, if you were to follow all the processes that you want to scale it in one area. So you basically vertically build products rather than the platforms or technologies which are more horizontal. And obviously, if you want to build a very generic solution, um, that will take time, and that may fulfill the requirement that the product has, and maybe 99 other things. However, the product is narrowly focused. They really wouldn't benefit from those 99 things you would do.
Sure. Yeah, I like that distinction. Technologies are more horizontal and products are vertical, so it's kind of a focus thing. So yeah, it's a good way to think about it. Do you have any other thoughts on this topic?
So yeah, I think there is some of the projects. They do have a very product like appeals. They do have their logos, they have their conferences, they have their communities, and we essentially look at them, probably as products, but essentially they may be platforms and technologies rather than products. Um, so essentially, I think identifying, that difference can help you um, make decisions on where to instrument a change, because all the platforms and technologies are the building blocks, and without that the product won't exist. Therefore, it will empower you to build a good decision matrix to instrument changes in right places, and hopefully that'll save you time to market and make your product quicker and better.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things we could discuss. One thing that comes to mind is why open sourcing a technology or a platform is a good business decision. We probably should save that for another time, but yeah, there's definitely trends in our industry, and it's like you said, it's important to differentiate these two so that we make the right decisions, because it's really a different operating mindset. And when people mix that up, then it's kind of a culture clash, or it can be a little difficult. So yeah, lots we can explore there. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah, it's a very good topic. I think we'll follow up on that. Essentially, where does open source lie in between those realms of products and technology? So,
Sure. Yeah, well, thanks for listening. And if anyone has comments, please reach out to us in the Tempter community, or email us directly, however you like to get a hold of us. And until next time.